Hey Kimberbell friends, it is just about time to start Candy Corn Quilt Shop. I hope you're all joining us. So we haven't set a date yet, but as we start seeing the orders trickle in from our sponsor, Oh My Darlings, then we will go ahead and start on our next project. Most of us are finishing up with Vintage Boardwalk now, and we're very excited about the new project coming. So for those of you that are ordering from Oh My Darlings, make sure and look in the video description of this video or in the intro that we did a couple weeks ago. There is a discount code for those that are purchasing from Oh My Darlings, and there's a link to their website and all the information on the discount. The code is Kristen Creates, and like I said, it's in the video description underneath this video. So you'll want to order from our sponsor and get your products in, and like I said, as we start seeing more orders coming in, then we'll know that it's time to start. So as I said before, what you're going to need to get is the booklet that has the CD in it for all of the embroidery files for the Candy Corn Quilt Shop. And then you're going to want either the fabric kit or the like half-yard bundle. It depends on what you want to do. There's more than just the one quilt in the booklet, and so you can order the half-yard bundle or larger quantity of fabric that will make it so that you can do all of the projects, or you can order just the fabric kit, which is specific to the quilt. So either one works, and Oh My Darlings has all of them ready to go. And then you'll also need the embellishment kit for your project. It has all of the leather and mylar and buttons and everything that we're gonna need for this quilt. And there's also a thread kit. I haven't received mine yet, but there's a thread kit that's optional, but it's pretty cool because it has all the colors that you need to match the fabrics. And that kit is from Glide, so it's really good thread. I like those. And then you'll also need the fabric backing. It does not come in your fabric kit, so make sure to get the backing for your fabric. And while you're waiting for us to finish up Vintage Boardwalk, we only have like another day or so, and like I said, we're just waiting for everyone to get their orders in so that we can start this as a group project. But if you've already received your product, you can start cutting your fabric. So I've only done one day so far. I'm still finishing up Vintage Boardwalk. But Chantel added information on these little dry erase packets that you can use. It comes, you get like 30 or something of these little packets, and you can put your fabrics. And what I'm doing is by day, you can do each individual project, but like the very first project that we're going to do has 3 blocks in it, so I've put all 3 in here. And like I said, I've only done one day so far. I've never cut before I've quilted before. I've never prepared in that way because I find it boring to sit there and cut and cut and cut all day long. But the tutorials take so much time. Anything that will help shorten the process is a good idea. So I am going to do it. I'm going to try and do it for this quilt. And I know a lot of people were interested in these packets. So actually I'll add a link in the video description as well if you want to buy these dry erase marker packet things, whatever you call them. There's several different options, but I'm going to add a link to the ones that I bought. So anyway, what you're going to want to do though is start prepping your fabrics. So you would cut each of the fabrics for the project, and I'm going ahead and backing each of them with fusible stabilizer. And so you would cut, like I said, there's 3 for this first project. So you would go ahead and cut each of those according to the directions in the booklet. But I'm also going to give that information on each tutorial, so you don't have to do it ahead. You could do it right before you're going to start the project, whatever works for you. And then I'm also including my batting. So the batting, you always cut I always cut a ½ inch larger than the final cut size. So if you look in your booklet, like it'll tell us to have our background fabrics, the main fabric, those would be, I think it was 6.5 by 8 for the first one. let me look real quick here. 6.5 by 8.5 for the main fabric. That's our cut size. And then you look further in the description at the end and it tells you the final cut size. So like on these, the final cut size of this is 4.5 by 6.5. And that's how we determine our quilting design that I will share with each block that we're going to work on. And it also helps determine the batting size. So if our final cut size of this project is 4.5 by 6.5, that means that we want our batting a 1/2 inch larger, which would be 5 by 7. So I went ahead and I cut all three to 5 by 7. So do what works for you. If you have time to pre-cut, great. I don't know that I will for this project, but I went ahead and I looked through the booklet. I just received my order from Oh My Darlings, and so I did a little prep while I'm still working on Vintage Boardwalk, and it looks like there are 28 blocks. So this one is actually more doable or more manageable than Vintage Boardwalk, which was a much larger quilt. So 28 blocks, hopefully you can cut them ahead of time if it works for you. And again, if not, that's totally fine. Do what works for you. I am going to try and get this done ahead of time. So we don't have a start date yet. I'm hoping for next week. I'm assuming that a lot of the orders are going to come in this week, and we'll go ahead and set a start date as soon as I see those start coming in. So get your orders into Oh My Darlings if you haven't already. They are sponsoring this project for us. So they have given our entire group, Kristen Creates, that group, are all getting a 10% off discount with the code Kristen Creates. So make sure to sponsor them. That's what helps keep our tutorials free, and we appreciate their support so much. So Candy Corn Quilt Shop, get started.